Good morning, happy people. It is good to be here. I am so glad that you are all here. You're going to notice no headphones today. I've got a new audio setup. So if you would, confirm or let me know how the audio is in the chat. I want to make sure this sounds good. We're set up. I hope everything is good. I hope everything is fantastic. I see that we've got a great crew in here already, and we're going to add a lot more, hopefully, as this goes. So again, let me know in the chat if the sound is solid. Great. Andy, Rob, people are saying this is good. Fantastic. Two things before we get started with the simple skill of decision making, all right, which is what we're in here today. And by the way, look at this. Look, you guys are getting, it's almost a scientific level of note taking that I'm in right now. It's not precision, it's just scientific levels of note-taking that I'm in right now. Two things that I would really appreciate if you would do and my team would appreciate. Number one is if you're here, jump in the chat and let us and everybody else in the chat know where you're streaming and logging in from. Always nice to know where we have people. We've had people from all over the United States, from Florida to New York to Seattle and Oregon. We've got Texas, we've got Arizona, we got West Coast people up early on a Saturday. I appreciate you all. We've got Czech Republic, we got France, we've got Australia, we got people all over the place. We got Canada. I see Josh. Oh no, Josh, is it snowing in Canada? Is it snowing where you are, my man? Hopefully it's beautiful snow, okay? Hopefully it's beautiful snow. And then number two is this. We are on a mission to, on one of these live streams, get an equal number of likes on the video to the number of people we have concurrently in here. So right now, we've got about a 30 like difference between the number of people in and the number of likes that we have. So if you're feeling generous today and you want to return the favor and you're liking and getting value out of these, find that little thumbs up button on this video and push the like button. We would appreciate that. So, you got the whole video to be able to do it. So maybe wait, if you want, wait until I say that one thing that you needed to hear about why you logged in, and that will be the emotional motivation for you to seek out, find, and push that like button. And if you don't know where the like button is, I believe in your ability to find it. I really do. I believe that you can find it. And you can open another tab in Google. How do I find the like button on YouTube? Because I don't know where it is. If I'm being completely and totally open and honest with this, I don't know where it is. I got a screen here that, I don't think I even have a like button because I don't think you can like your own live stream. Okay. Decision making. One of my favorite topics. Obviously, if you know anything about me, my team, what I teach, and how I approach it, you already know what I'm about to say, and that is that I am incapable of separating decision making from E plus R equals O. For me, for the last, I don't know. I turned 38 this week, and so for the last 22 years, E plus R equals O has been the foundation, the filter, and the bedrock of every decision that I've ever made when I was doing it well. So to me, there is no difference between decision making and E plus R equals O. And here's what it is. I'm going to show you this again from the book. Again, we've got a lot of folks in here right now, so I'm guessing not everybody knows what this is. Those of you who've been on here, but this is, the foundation. This is this is the content that I'm teaching from. It's the Essential 2020 Guide to Self-Awareness, Self-Control, and Self-Confidence. It is 20 trainable behavior skills that unleash greatness. There's the 20. Make sure I get these squared up on the video. There's the 20. We are right there on decision making. So we've only got 2 more to go. Okay, we've got 2 more to go. And we're going to skip tomorrow for Mother's Day. Let everybody go enjoy their Mother's Day. And it's a Sunday. We'll pick back up on Monday. So, again, let me show you this. Okay, decision making. Ready? The simple skill of decision making is E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. Choose the best response you can for the outcome you want, given the situation you are in. That is the simple skill of decision making. There are 1,000 things. There are tens of thousands of books on Amazon that are going to teach you all of the scientific proof, all of the new brain research, all of the psychology experiments that influence and affect and go into when we're exploring and might make a difference with your decision making, and none of them will serve your life better than E plus R equals O. Because E plus R equals O is simple enough to actually work in your life. Here's why it's so beneficial. There is no moment where E plus R equals O. Again, event plus your response equals the outcome, okay? Or the way I like to do it, what outcome do I want? What event am I dealing with? How do I need to respond to get that outcome or create it or get closer to it or make progress towards it, given the event and context that I am in right now? There is literally not a waking moment of your life that does not operate by that structure. And I mean that. So go test, go verify, go try this in your life and seek out, find a scenario where E plus R equals O is not the structure of what's happening. And again, I've been doing this for 22 years between using and teaching, and I haven't found one yet. I just haven't. So to me, and for me, there is no value in moving beyond E plus R equals O for decision making until I've actually firmly embedded E plus R equals O as my operating software, so to speak, right? Like the way I like to teach it is, I've got this iPhone, right? And so on my iPhone, right, I've got, hold on, make sure all my updates aren't coming up, right? I've got all my apps that are on my iPhone, right? But what the value of this is that the software on the actual iPhone, right? The iOS, the operating system, that's what makes this so useful. The apps are going to be different between your and my phone, but the software it runs on, it's going to be the same. And the personality and the preferences come out with what apps are in there and how we use it. That's E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O is my decision-making operating software. It is what everything runs through. And all of these skills and all of my style and my personality and my preferences and my goals, my dreams, my emotions, those are the apps, right? Those are the unique things that, yeah, we both have emotions, but yours are different than mine. We might both have Twitter, but we're going to use it really differently. We've got, what else is on my home screen, right? Just to extend this analogy, right? I've got Google Drive on my home screen, okay? I've got Notability. I've got Slack, right? I've got Airtable. I got Instagram and Twitter. And so we might have some of the same apps, but we're going to use them for different purposes. But we're all going to operate on the same operating software, right? And our operating software is both, our head and heart, right? Our physical side of this, right? And then E plus R equals O, which is the tool that we're going to use. So that's the foundation. And what a good decision-making process is this. I'm just going to say this again from the book, okay? Here's the simple decision-making process with E plus R equals O. Choose the best response you can and engage in it to produce the outcome you want or need given the situation that you are in. That's good decision making. And ladies and gentlemen, let me pause, okay? Let me pause. And I see Rob's question. I'll get right to you in a second, Rob. Let me pause. Listen to this again, and then I'm going to ask you a very important question, okay? Choose the best response you can and engage in it for the outcome that you want or need, given the situation that you are in. How often are you disciplined and skilled and committed to following and aligning yourself intentionally with that structure? Like, people want to go beyond that. They think, oh, no, I need and they go to more complex and they want more. Like, well, it's got to be more than that. But guys, this is what I want to pull you back to. If you're not already really good at that right there, what is a new training and a new skill or brain science or reading a whole book on grit or toughness or leadership or whatever else people are reading about? What good is it going to do if you're not already good at identifying the best response that you can and engaging in it to produce the outcome you want given the situation that you're in. If you're not elite at that simple skill, additional tools are not going to give you the payoff that you think they are. So this is where we need to begin, and this is where our practice needs to begin, because then you're going to build this kick-ass operating software. You're going to build this great operating software. And now those books you're reading and the training that you're doing and the additional skills and the advanced stuff are going to have an operating system tool to help you engage in better responses, pursue higher and harder outcomes, and deal with more complexity, tragedy, crisis, difficulty, uncertainty in the events that you're in. Okay? So, one of the beautiful parts about E plus R equals O is that it's got these three letters, and they're there, and I don't care. I don't care what you call it. I don't care about the letters. I don't care about the equation. What I know from observation, from teaching, and from direct experience is this. If these letters, E plus R equals O, never existed and nobody taught this, it would still exist. Things happen. I make decisions and engage in actions, and there are consequences for my choices. Every choice that I make produces an outcome of some kind, has an impact of some kind, delivers an experience of some kind. Every choice I make and every action I engage in is always operating inside of and within some kind of context for the moment that I am living. And some of those things I am fully aware of. Some of those things I'm only partially aware of because I can only kind of see. And sometimes I make decisions in context where there's a lot of factors that I don't know. Okay? Right now is one of these examples where, because we're all in this scenario, we're all responding in an environment where there's a lot of factors in this current environment in the world that we don't know yet. Right? There's a lot of factors we obviously have no control over them, but there's a lot of stuff that we just don't know. I was talking with a client yesterday about, I think one of the biggest challenges for people is, how of all the stuff that's going on that we might need to know to help us make good decisions and engage in good actions, do we maybe know 10 or 20%? Maybe. Like, I'm fully aware right now, me, Brian Kight, right now, I've got access to maybe 10 or 20% of the real information about what is really going on with all of this coronavirus stuff. But I'm also being flooded with a stream of things, to the extent that I see stuff on here of information that I have no idea whether it's true or not. I have no idea. So the challenge of this is that despite E plus R equals O being simple and brilliantly, geniusly simple, the application of it exists in the complexity of the real world, right? The complexity of our actions don't create one outcome, they create multiples. Our actions don't just create outcomes and impact, they deliver experiences. And sometimes the outcome is great, but the experience is bad. Sometimes the experience is great, but the outcome is less than desirable. So the foundation of all great decision making is E plus R equals O, and I want to make sure I have a huge amount of humility on this part right here of, this is not something that I invented. Okay, like E plus R equals O was here since the dawn of time, right? E plus R equals O, it applies to everything and everyone, and it always has. We just happen to be alive right now, and there's these letters, and we put it into a teaching structure and a format, and then built a system around it. This is not mine. I don't own this, right? Like, this is way bigger than this. So I am trying to be smart and observational and deliver what I can. First, in my own life, trying to do this. But secondarily, I'm trying to make sure that I am passing on and teaching the structure of the world, right? Of how it actually exists. I don't feel like I own any of this. I feel like I am simply, I'm a vessel passing things through that exists, and it'll be here long after that I am gone. And with love, right, here's the humility, and then here's the truth with love. The humility and with truth with love for all of you in this is this. If you choose not to use E plus R equals O, like if you choose to ignore it, like if you choose not to pay attention, if you say, oh, it doesn't always work like that, or oh, you can't do it here or there, you can't do it in this, or that's not how, you deal with death, or that's not how you deal with parenting, or it doesn't work with kids, or it doesn't work in my job, or, oh, it doesn't work with me because I have a condition of blank, 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 whatever it is. That's okay. It's okay if you say that, but that doesn't stop it from operating. Like, if you choose to ignore it, it doesn't go away. It doesn't stop influencing you, affecting you. It doesn't change the skill or lack of that you have in it. It doesn't move out of your life. The only thing that happens if you choose to ignore it, or me, or any audience I ever speak to, it's not that it doesn't apply to them. It's that they're just choosing not to look at it. And then it will just continue to have the same role in their life that it always has. The only thing that gets impacted if you don't pay attention to it, or I don't pay attention to it, is your skill with it and what impact it actually has. So to dig into E plus R equals O is to bring our skill level up and to design and steer and direct intentionally the impact that we have with the tool. To not pay attention to it, it doesn't affect your life less. It just means you have less skill to deal with situations, control your response, and get the outcomes that you want or need. And that you're not in as much, you don't have as much power over the impact that you're actually having from a good direction. And you probably lack self-awareness over the impact you're having in the not as good direction. So I don't know anybody who wants to have less control over themselves, less ability to make an impact, who wants to be beat up and tossed around by the events and circumstances in their life, and wants to feel like they can't get the things that they want. I don't know anybody like that. I know people who will act like that sometimes because they'll play a victim because they don't want to have to do hard work, but I don't know anybody who truly wants that. So what do we need to do? What we need to do is this, and I think this is, for me, this is the best starting point. For me, E plus R equals O is not something I use, it's something I live. And I find that for my decision making, that's a really great starting point. It's not something I use. It's something I live. So when I wake up, I mean, and this is pretty literal, okay? This is pretty literal. And if you're just here, by the way, if you're just jumping in, we're trying to get as many likes as we have viewers in here. So if you're in and you have not pushed that thumbs up button, push that thumbs up button right now. We're like, what are we in? 17 minutes in or so? Find that like. You know, you can't do a double like, so just do a single. I don't care, left or right, either thumb. And a couple people are asking what this book is. This is the Essential 2020 Guide to Self-Awareness, Self-Control, and Self-Confidence. In this book, it's what this live stream series is based on. There's 20 trainable behavior skills that unleash greatness. It's available inside the Daily Discipline community. Obviously, all of these videos are free. They're all on YouTube. You can watch all of these, get your notes. If you want the book, it is in the community, and it's in the paid version of the community with the resources. And this is just one of the resources. And the community is $20 a month or $200 for the year. It is an unbelievable value for. I mean, and I'm not here selling the community. We're just doing this, but this book is in there, and if you want it, you can join for a month and for $20, and you can get this. You can find the other tools and resources. Find out if you like the community, if you want to be part of it, all the videos, the conversations, the chats, the additional resources. And if you enjoy it and you want to keep staying in it and participating and see what else we're putting in there, you can stay in. If you just want to join for a month to grab the book, go ahead and jump in and grab it. I promise you spent $20 on things that were a lot less impactful on your life than something like this would be. So if you'd like it, go ahead and jump in. It'll be the best $20 or $200 that you've spent this year, I promise. So it's not something I use, it's something that I live, okay? So now what we're going to do is this. We're going to break down decision-making by self-awareness, self-control, and self-confidence. Know yourself, control yourself, believe in yourself. Here's where decision-making with self-awareness begins, okay? Right here. Look at my note. Every moment is your decision. It is easy to fool yourself that somehow you aren't making the decision in the moment. It's easy to fool yourself that there's some other operator in here deciding for you. It's easy to fool yourself that some external circumstance demanded from you something or somebody made you do something. right? And that's the fastest way to get off track with decision making. To be on track with decision making, you have got to take this seriously. There is no other decision maker than you. Okay, that's the starting point. There is no other decision maker than you. If something is happening, it's because you are choosing it or not choosing it. It's because you brought it out of yourself or you didn't bring it out of yourself. And the best way I know how to do this, you guys, the best way I know how, if you want self-awareness and you want to start, like honestly, for people who are in here right now, and I don't know who all of these folks are, and I don't know out of everybody who's going to watch this ever, right? Because these are all on my channel later on. I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's a percentage of you, probably 30 or so percent of you, that the issue in decision making is that too many of the decisions that you make, you attribute responsibility to something and someone other than you. That you have outsourced the cause of where that decision and choice and consequence came from. And what you need to do is you need to get back to ownership and responsibility for your decisions. And here's how to do that. For those of you who just want to try this because you're looking for ways to enhance and sharpen, this will be useful for you too. But I'm speaking right to the people who need to come back to center that you are the one who is choosing. Here's what you can do. Say your decision out loud. Literally, not inside your head, out loud. Say, like if you wake up in the morning and you said, I'm going to work out, okay? And then you start to go back to sleep. What you'll do is typically we'll do that internal debate. And the reason we need to get out of the internal debate is inside your mind knows how to convince you. Your mind knows how to manipulate and persuade and give you that argument that you know how to believe in and go back and forth and back and forth. So change the script. Say it out loud. Say, I'm going to skip my workout and sleep in because I would rather sleep in than get in better shape. Say it. Because once you get it out of you, now it's out in the world and you are on the hook and responsible for making the decision yourself. Now, there is no complaints, there's no excuses, there's no defensiveness. There's simply you saying, this is the choice I am making, and I am making it on purpose. When you speak it, it's different. And you can do this for anything, right? Like, for example, next time your spouse does something that you don't like, and you feel yourself starting to get irritated, rather than just fall into an argument with that person and blame them for why it came out, say out loud, I'm going to choose to get into an argument with you and fight you about this so that I can win. And when we get into this argument, rather than treat you well, I'm actually going to try to win the argument and cut you down a little bit. Do you hear that? When you say your choices out loud, you actually have to start being responsible for the decisions that you're making. You can't control your spouse, right? Like, say out loud, I'm going to drive on the road and I'm not going to let anybody get in front of me because I want to be the first person in line on the freeway, and I'm not going to do anything kind to any other driver. And anybody who does things that I disagree with, I'm going to get mad at them. Say it out loud. Because when you say your choices out loud, they sound different than what they sound when they're in here. Okay? It's strange. It's strange. But at least you'll start to be self-aware of, oh, I'm making these choices. It's not them. It's not the other driver. It's not my boss. It's not my spouse. It's not my kids. It's not the president. It's not the country. It's not Republicans. It's not Democrats. It's not conservatives or liberals. It's not the teachers. It's not the parents. It's me. I'm making these choices. And if I want different outcomes, I got to make some different choices. Or if you say, I'm going to drive today and I'm not going to be kind to anyone and I'm going to ensure that nobody gets in front of me ever, and you own that choice and you're good with it, well, then now you say, well, what will be the consequence of that choice? Well, of course, people are going to be upset with you. And of course, nobody's going to like you. And then you just say, okay, yeah, I'm actually a pretty inconsiderate driver. And that's who I'm choosing to be. I like that. It's what I want to be. Well, now Now you'd have to let go of ever getting mad or irritated at another driver, because if you choose to drive like that, of course people are going to treat you like that. So now you have to not be upset with them. Okay, because if somebody else said that choice to you, like if you're sitting there and your spouse comes up and says, hey, I'm going to choose to get in an argument with you, and I'm actually going to choose to blame you for this rather than look at any part of myself. And whenever you point something out in me that I could have done better, I'm immediately going to get defensive, deflect it, and point out something that I can find where you didn't do it either. Like if your spouse came and said that to you, you'd be like, well, why would you do that? So saying choices out loud is a very simple hack for gaining more self-awareness of this. Look at this. Ready? Right here. Okay? Right here. Hold on. I got to get backwards. Here we go. Say exactly what your decision is. Now you're on the hook for it. That's self-awareness. Simplest way I know how to do it. And by the way, if you think that sounds kind of hokey, okay, go try it. I bet the reason you feel hokey about it is because you're not entirely comfortable with the choices you'd make and how they would sound if you said them out loud. If you think it's hokey, go try it. Okay? Put skin in the game. If it's hokey, you're like, it sounds kind of goofy. Okay, go do it. See how it feels, see what happens, see what goes. If you find that it has no value, scrap it. But if you try it, you're going to be surprised. Okay? Control yourself. Again, I'm going to just keep showing this to you. One decision at a time. People tend to, in E plus R equals O, they tend to want to drift to more complexity. They want to drift, well, what if I did this response and that outcome, and then what if this didn't happen and that, and isn't, sometimes people say, well, isn't it really the outcome minus the response actually just gives me the timeout, right? Zach Morris timeout for you Saved by the Bell fans. No. One decision at a time. Focus on simple execution. What outcome do I want? What circumstance do I have? How do I respond to create that outcome given this circumstance right now? When you are driving, you have to make driving decisions. When you are sitting down with your 3-year-old and your 7-month-old, like I was today, my daughter's 7 months old today, it is not about decision making about what I'm doing later in the day. It's about decision making right now with my kids. When I'm here, it's the decision making here. When I'm, this is what great decision makers do. You're in the moment, right? Because once you get good at doing this, what's going to happen is this, and this is kind of next level or kind of higher up. What happens is when you're really good at doing this right now, one moment at a time, what happens is you actually start to develop the capacity to see and string cause and effect moments together. And you can see this response, this outcome leads to that, which gives me an opportunity here, bang, 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 bang. And I give you an example of how it works. So like when a flight is delayed or canceled, whenever there's kind of chaos going on in the airport, you see a lot of people, they start panicking a little bit, right? And they start considering all the different things. And next thing you know, they're calling clients or family or friends or whoever, and they're moving around and they're trying to manage everything rather than focusing on what is the most immediate thing that I need to do. Right now, what's the first thing? And the answer, of course, is the first thing you need to do is you need to get in front of some kind of customer service agent with the airline. You need to be first in line with them. And so rather than panic or get upset, it's pick up the telephone or go walk over to the gate agent. Now you're there. Now in that moment, what matters? Well, what matters is being kind to that person, because that is the only person right now that can help you. And they don't have to if they don't want to. And plenty of them choose not to because other people are mean. So if you're there, one decision at a time, what happens is it's not about learning how to manage everything. It's about learning how to keep focus on that one moment you're in, handle it really well with skill, and then as you get better, you're quicker at it, and you jump into the next moment. And then you jump into the next moment, and you jump into the next moment. And the more confidence you have, the smoother all of this goes. The Navy SEALs have a statement that they believe in, and the statement is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And what that means is when you can do it slowly and smoothly and efficiently because you're doing that one piece at a time, you can go smooth. And once you can go smooth, now you can really go fast. That's the key.
Same thing with E plus R equals O. It's learning how to control that part of you one decision at a time. A lot of people worry about future events and they don't manage this moment. They're caught worrying about the past events and they're not in this one. This is about recognizing all of the events we're going to deal with and the outcomes we're going after in the future. They're going to arrive in their time, and we want to be ready for them. What's the best way to be ready for crisis and opportunity? What's the best way to be ready for disappointment in results as well as elation with achieving all of our wildest dreams? What's the best way to be prepared and ready for that? The best way is manage this moment at the best of our ability, produce an outcome, gain some experience, see the consequences of our actions, learn, put it into our toolbox, and move forward. That's the best way to do it. Life unfolds 1 second at a time, 5 minutes at a time, an hour at a time, etc. You see where we're going. Control yourself is about owning that moment right there and doing everything in your capacity to win it. The second piece about control yourself is this, and I have this down. With controlling yourself in decision making, you look at what's involved in decision making, right? We have to be great thinkers. We have to be great with emotions. We have to be great doers. Just so you're clear, being a thinker and a feeler and emotional, but not being great at action and execution, you're still sitting still. You're just all up in your feelings. So you got to be a great thinker. So you have to make good thinking decisions, good emotional decisions, good action decisions. You're going to have to make adjustments every day. Right? You're going to interact with people every day, and then you're going to learn something every day. So to be a great manager, executor, applier of E plus R equals O, let no day pass where you are not making intentional, purpose-driven decisions around how you think, feel, act, change, interact with people, and learn. That's a great day. Right? That is a decision-making full day. That's what controlling yourself actually looks like. Okay, you can also go to the structure that's in the book and use these 20 skills as well, but you won't necessarily do all 20 of these every day, and 20 is a really big list to manage. I don't do this every day. It comes out, but I don't go through that list every single day. But those other 6, think, feel, act, change, interact, learn, those are daily, okay? And then here's the last one. The last piece is the believe in yourself portion, right here. And here's what I think. Here's what I believe in. And this, some people get rubbed the wrong way around this because they hear it a certain way. But rather than say, "Don't take this the wrong way," that's a terrible statement, by the way. Don't take this the wrong way. Why would you say that? Say this. This is what I say. Take this the right way. Like, don't tell me what not to do on how to take something because they're immediately going to get defensive. Shift that language. Try this. It's fun. Say, take this the right way. And now you're pointing people in a good direction. And I believe this to be true, even if, for whatever reason, some people don't like this. Be confident until you're wrong and then make adjustments. Ladies and gentlemen, I think people are too afraid of making mistakes. I think people are too afraid of errors. I think people's egos get so big that, and here big ego, like it's not the typical view of big ego that most people have of this big arrogant person. No, what I mean is big ego of nobody wants to acknowledge and look at and just embrace the fact that they make poor choices that have negative consequences and that they get decisions wrong. Of course I do. Of course I do. And I look at it from a self-awareness view. Okay, one, I want to be self-confident. Okay, I want to be. But I look at it this way. If I knew beforehand which of my decisions were going to be wrong, I wouldn't do them. You follow me? Like, if I knew when my right and wrong decisions, when my decisions that were going to work and when my decisions that weren't going to work, if I knew before I did them that one wasn't going to work and that one was bad and that one would be hurtful and that one would not pay off or that one would be bleeded, wasted energy, if I knew beforehand, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. But I don't know when they're coming. I don't know. So what I do is rather than have a fear of making mistakes, I simply accept beforehand I'm going to make a bunch of them. Rather than have a fear of being wrong, I accept beforehand I'm going to be wrong all the time. Rather than be fearful of look at what else I did here. Rather than be fearful of not making good decisions, I already know I'm not going to make good decisions in some percentage of time. Now, I'd like to shrink that percentage, but that just means I need more reps at making decisions to learn how to do it really well. But I also need to accept that no matter what I do, not everything I do will be good. Not everything I do will work. Not everything I do is going to get liked by people. Not everything I do is going to pay off and benefit other people or give an experience that they enjoy. So does that mean that I need to eliminate my self-confidence, or I need to act with some kind of meekness, or watch out for them? Nope, we can't afford that. So what I do is confident until I'm wrong, and then I make adjustments. Meaning I move forward with my decisions. Now, I work really hard all the time on E plus R equals O, on self-awareness, on self-control, and on self-confidence. So I work hard. I work really hard to earn my confidence. Okay, I do not want hollow, empty confidence. I want to work hard. But what I do then is I go move forward confidently until I'm wrong, and then when I'm wrong, I say, sorry, my bad. My error, oh my God, depending on what's going on. And then I make an adjustment and say, yeah, no, I was off base there. Yep, that was it. We just had one of these with my team where I said, hey, don't do this. And then we tried something else, and then it didn't work. And I was like, oh, hey, you were actually two different things. A couple different things recently where I made a decision and it was wrong. Like the consequence went down, went the opposite direction than we wanted. And we had to come back and I said, hey, you were right and I was wrong. My ego's not tied up in it. I'm okay. So confidence isn't about getting it all right. Confidence is about, do you believe in your capacity to make good decisions? And can you add into that, do you believe in the fact that you're not going to get it right all the time? And can you stay confident even when you're wrong in the adjustments you're making, and sometimes even in the apologies you make when you're wrong? The only thing that we really, really, really don't like in confidence is when somebody is confident to the point that they can't admit mistakes and errors. That's really the only thing we don't like in confidence. Every now and then, envy kicks in where somebody's really confident and you just don't like the fact that they're good because you like to be good and they're getting credit or whatever. But the only thing we really don't like is somebody who can't admit that they're wrong or won't or doesn't make room for it. So make room for it. Okay? That's what I think this is. Living in fear of making mistakes actually only increases the amount of mistakes you make and the size of them. I'm going to say it one more time just so you grab that. Living and operating in fear, lack of confidence in making mistakes, only increases the number of mistakes you make and the amount. And that is true everywhere. People who are afraid of making mistakes, they make a lot more. They just do. That bears out. So, the last piece. This is tricky and counterintuitive, but real. If you want to have more self-confidence, okay, accept the consequences of your actions. When I say I'm confident until I'm wrong and then I make adjustments, it's because I accept the consequences of my actions. That's where the confidence comes from. I'm willing to act because I know there will be consequences and I will take them, whatever they are. Who else's responsibility is it to accept the consequences of my actions? No one's. It's my job. So before I engage in a choice, I fully acknowledge this will have consequences, and I accept what they are. Like if you do that, okay, look, if you do that, you're untouchable. When I mean untouchable, I mean like when you do that, people's approval, people's disapproval, people's acceptance, whether they like you or not. I put a couple more down here. Whether you make mistakes, you can't be affected by those things if you accept the consequences of your actions. It's when you don't want to accept the consequences of your actions, or when you're afraid of the consequences of your actions, or when you just don't want the consequences of your actions, that makes you vulnerable to external forces influencing your decision making, or at least you telling yourself a story of that. When you own and accept your consequences, it puts you in a really powerful position to make great decisions because now you're not defensive. And here's what defensive is. People ask this question all the time. Getting defensive is when you either try to justify some kind of a response so that other people believe you made a good choice, or when you try to deny the consequences of one of your actions. And so not getting defensive means this: you don't justify a response, you simply own it. Yes, I said that and did that. It's exactly what I did. And then people say, well, I didn't like that. And you can say, I can see that. Or I acknowledge it. Or I'm sorry. I apologize. You know what? I chose that. I said that and I did that. And now you're telling me you didn't like it. And man, looking back, that was a poor choice by me. I got caught up in the moment and I made a decision out of impulse and ego and emotion. And I really apologize. Or boy, I didn't even think about it. Whatever it would be. Or you just don't want to accept the consequences, which means you don't want to own the decision that you made in the first place. Okay? So self-awareness is say your choice out loud. Self-control is manage E+R=O one moment at a time and make sure you are making those decisions around thinking, feeling, acting, changing, interacting, and learning on a daily basis. Those are choices that you've got to make. And then self-confidence is believe in yourself until you're wrong and then make adjustments because you're not going to get it all right. There is no value in being afraid of making mistakes and trying to make less of them. Or not trying to make less of them because obviously we don't want to make tons of mistakes. But it's this. You heard previously, I'll go back and use something, right? When it comes to mistakes and errors, right? Make the small ones, avoid the big ones, learn from all of them. I don't want to make a mistake that would cost me everything. That's poor E+R=O. But I'm also not going to live in fear of making a mistake. I'm going to go out and I'm going to be confident. Now look, if you've misplaced your confidence, that's a very different issue. But if you misplace your confidence, you're going to learn pretty quick that, hey, that response with the confidence you had in it did not produce the outcome that you wanted. And that's where it comes to making adjustments, flexibility, and humility. We're going back to the previous skills. Okay? So that's the flow. We understand our choices are going to be a mix of ones that work and ones that don't. And so let's bring confidence into it. All right? So that is what I have for you on the content. If you're still here and you're in, find the like button, find that thumbs up button and push it. Okay, go ahead and push that button and we'll see if we can. I think we've already hit. I mean, we were trying to get the most liked video yet, so I appreciate you guys. I knew E+R=O was going to be a really big hit. So I heard I'm getting a little reverb on this, so I apologize. Just seeing that now. Let's see if we can get this fixed. I don't really know. Let me see. While I'm trying to get this fixed, go ahead and put your questions in the chat and see if I can get this fixed, and I'll answer some questions in here. Okay? Cool. Thanks. I'm going to turn that gain down right there. Let's just see. I'll turn the gain down, and we'll see. All right. Great. Okay. Sorry for the echo. I wish I knew how this. I'm using this. We're using a new mic here, and there's not an easy way to test this outside of live stream. So I apologize for the echo. And if you can listen and hear through the echo, then we're good. If not, I understand audio issues are sometimes hard to deal with. So, what can I answer for you while we are here? If you can fight your way, push through this echo. What questions can I answer for you guys? Push it in with Q&A. I know there's a couple before, so let me jump back and go look at them. Great crew here today. All right. All right, let's see Q&A. Rob said, what were the 33 things? It's know yourself, control yourself, believe in yourself. It's self-awareness, self-control or self-discipline, and self-confidence. That's the combo of the three. Adam Harvey, what's up, Adam? Good to see you, man. As you grow in leadership, what is your formula when so much lands on those around you? Spend time teaching them the importance of E+R=O, or continuing to practice the skill and hope that they begin. I would absolutely teach them E plus R equals O. When things are landing on people around you, and this is ultimately where discipline comes in E plus R equals O, and like when I'm working with other coaches, like you, Adam, with athletes, we want athletes who know how to make their own decisions, because and same thing with teammates, right? We want teammates that are really good at E plus R equals O, and there's a technical side of that, right? In your world, Adam, it's ball, right? It's football. In another world, it might be accounting, and in my world, it's client service or content management or social media or video creation. I got my guys on this live chat now. There's a lot of different things that can go into it, but there's the personal side is the big one, right? The E plus R equals O at the personal level. So the more you're teaching E plus R equals O, again, technically and personally, you are equipping people with the ability to make decisions better and faster, and corrections and adjustments quicker, and to recognize them on their own. And the more you're teaching them and the better they get at that, the less demand that places on you. And so anything you can do in that front that puts less demand on you, because a lot more is falling on them, that's a really good distributed decision-making network. And you can't have everything landing on you as a leader and a coach. So this is teaching is the best thing you can do. Now, if you're not living it, teaching it will actually undermine you. And obviously, I'm not suggesting this for you, Adam, because I know you work very hard on this already. But for all of you, if you're not living E plus R equals O, and you try to teach it to somebody, the actual teaching of it will undermine you, because nobody wants to get taught something that the other person doesn't do. We just don't. They're gonna look at you. So that's the first piece. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got. Chris Carino wants the Navy SEAL quote: "Slow is smooth, smooth is fast." Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Meaning, practice it slow until you can get so smooth at it that you can go as faster than everybody else. E plus R equals O is the great tool for that. All right, one more question. 6 skills: think, feel, act. Think, feel, act. Adjust or change, interact, and learn. Right? Think, feel, act, adjust, interact with other people, and then learn. Those are the 6. All right. I appreciate you all. Sorry for the echo on the end here. I'm not sure when that kicked in or why, but we will work on that. We're going to be back on Monday. We're going to take tomorrow, Mother's Day, off. Go enjoy your Sunday. Have a great day. Jackson, we did hit likes to viewers. We dropped, we got to the tail end here, and we got there. So thank you all. I appreciate you. We're going to be back on Monday, and we're going to go at noon. We're going to go at noon Eastern on Monday, and we will be on patience. Mason Rulston, love to hear how E plus R equals O is helping on my journey to become a scratch golfer. Mason, patience. Okay? Most people don't understand how patience works, but patience is about a lot of energy in and then allowing it to pay off over a timeline. Becoming a scratch golfer requires a lot of patience, but so does the rest of life. We'll dig into that Monday at 12 noon Eastern. Be here live. Make sure you subscribe. Sign up for notifications. Click the bell so that you know when we're going live. You get your reminders without having to check in. Go follow us on social at @TBrianKight on your favorite platform. I appreciate you all. Have a fantastic Saturday and a great Mother's Day.